Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Cavaliers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K21 for the PS5. Today, we will begin the second round of the postseason, and our Cavaliers will be taking on my favorite team in real life, the Detroit Pistons. So last episode, we concluded the first round taking games 3 and 4 against the Boston Celtics, and obviously as the number 1 seed, we had expectations to get through Boston pretty easily. The Celtics have been a great team the past few years, so I was not expecting it to be a full-on easy series. I wasn't really expecting us to sweep them, but we did. Game 3 was a very close game. We won by 1, despite 49 from Jason Tatum. Odavius Shepherd played very well, and Cam Reddish scored 34 off the bench, so a really nice game from him. And then Game 4, we won 95-88 in a much more low-scoring defensive game. Kawhi led us in scoring with 22. We had 6 different players in the double figures that game, which is good to see everybody producing at a high level. So we were able to sweep Boston, and that'll bring us to the second round against the Pistons. Here's a look at our playoff stats through 4 games. Nothing overly notable other than Kawhi's points per game being low. His main role has not been as a scorer with us, although he has been able to score the ball. His main focus has been defensively and doing a lot of the dirty work, and we've had other guys like Odavius Shepherd and Cam Reddish lead the scoring. So, of course, we're playing the Pistons. They have a lot of talent. Led by All-NBA first-team member Zario Papadopoulos, the player drafted directly after Odavius Shepherd. With Shepherd only getting picked to the second team this year, I think he's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove to the world that he's better than Zario. The Pistons also have Killian Hayes, who's pretty much turned into the second coming of Chris Paul, essentially. And as a Pistons fan, I do very much enjoy that. This team has a few wild cards, most notably Paul George, a.k.a. Playoff P. Paul George does not have a ton of postseason success, and they do have a few other players who historically don't play well in the playoffs, guys like Dennis Schroeder and Eric Bledsoe as well. So it's going to be a very interesting series. We are favored, but I think the Pistons are one of the most fun teams in the NBA, and it's going to be a challenge. The winner of our series will take on either Chicago or Milwaukee. And then the West, we have Golden State playing New Orleans and Memphis playing Phoenix, who upset the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. The defending champions Spurs are also out. So let's get this one here. Games 1 and 2 will be on tap today, starting with the first game, of course, at the Cleveland City Center. Regular starting lineup for the Cavs, it'll be Odavius Shepherd, Kevin Porter Jr., Kawhi Leonard, Cedric Garrett, and Yusuf Diafafa-Fobo, the same 5 guys who started in all 4 games in the Boston series. For Detroit, their lineup will feature Killian Hayes, Paul George, OG Anunoby, Zario Papadopoulos, and Jakob Poeltl at the 5. Yusuf Diafafa-Fobo was a rebounding machine in that first series against Boston, so we'll see if he's able to eat up on Poeltl. Look at this shot by Cedric Garrett in the opening seconds of the game, shooting that one right in Zario Papadopoulos' face, trying to make an early statement. There's Odavius Shepherd inside for the slam. Cleveland looking good here. We're only 1 minute in. There's still plenty of time. As here comes playoff P. Paul George missing the shot. Cleveland on the fast break. Here comes Kawhi Leonard for 3, and the Cavs offense is really looking good so far. They are starting this one on the right foot. Cleveland is definitely energized, considering they just swept Boston. They had a lot of time off, and they're using this to really make an early impact here against Detroit. Papadopoulos makes the 3. Pistons bring the lead down to 1 as Shepherd in the corner finds KPJ. Kevin Porter Jr. inside for the slam. Nice dunk right there. 7-10 now. Here comes Cedric Garrett all alone in the paint. He gets the dunk. Garrett with a quick 5. He always plays his best in the first quarter of games as Killian Hayes loses it. Nice defense by Kevin Porter Jr. on the fast break. Garrett draws the foul and 1. Papadopoulos called for the foul, and this has been all Cleveland so far, 15-7. The Cavs offense has been extraordinary through the first 3 minutes. Playoff P, more like way off P on that one. He airballs the 3, but the Pistons get it back, and Killian Hayes drills it. 17-10 now. Here is Paul George, who has not looked particularly good so far today. Going to try to make up for his early mistakes, and he does. Paul George drills the 3, 13-17. Detroit trying to claw back into it. They have plenty of time. There's no reason to hit the panic button yet, as Kawhi with the back scratcher Beautiful slam right there. 21-13 now as it's for rookie Jason Higgins-Wycraft inside to Garrett for the slam. Higgins-Wycraft was very impressive off the bench in the Boston series, and Cedric Garrett's been very impressive today. He is an early 10 points. 25-13, a big lead for the Cavs as Evan Fournier drills the three. The Frenchman, Now it's 16-25. Reddish at the buzzer, no good, but still a very strong quarter for the Cavs. The offense really started well, kind of cooled down the stretch of that quarter, but defensively, the Cavs look really good so far. Zario Papadopoulos has not been able to make much of an impact, and Paul George has not looked good either. Papadopoulos does start the second quarter off with a three, as we'll see if he can get more involved in the game. Look at that pass and that finish. A flawless play inside for Reddish for the slam. Cleveland will get back up by double digits. 29-19 as it's Pandemic P with the screen. Get mean. Paul George drills the three, and it's now 26-29. The Pistons bring it within one possession. Shepard flying in for the slam. Odavius Shepard with 6 points and 6 dimes already in the first half. That shot no good from George, rebounded by Papadopoulos. He's double-teamed, gets it out to Eric Bledsoe with a beautiful pass for Pirtle. Excellent ball movement on that possession, that's what she said. 28-34 now. Killian Hayes gets it to a wide-open Zario Papadopoulos, who is 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Papadopoulos is a 7-footer who shot 45% from 3 this year. He's pretty much Kristaps Porzingis if Kristaps Porzingis tried. There's a nice dunk for Kevin Porter Jr., who's had a solid first half. He has 6 points. Fournier is blocked at the rim by Big Fafa. Cleveland on the fast break. Porter in the corner for J.H.W. Jason Higgins-Wycraft for 3. The Pistons were once only down by 3, but now it's a double-digit game again. 31-41. Higgins-Wycraft, tough layup, no good, but Big Fafa grabs his 7th rebound and gets the putback for his first bucket of the game. 33-43 now, about 2 minutes to go in the first half. Nice layup by Killian Hayes, despite some good defense by Higgins-Wycraft. 37-45 now, it's Christian Wood. His pass is intercepted by Miles Turner. A beautiful cross-court pass for Mamadou Netanyahu for the slam. 37-47 now, Cleveland holding on to the ball here for this final possession. Higgins-Wycraft with it, passes it out to Garrett in the corner at the buzzer. 13 in the first half for Cedric Garrett, and the Cleveland Cavaliers looking really good on both sides of the floor here in Game 1 as they lead it 50-37. Cedric Garrett leading the way for the Cavs. He has 13 points. Zario Papadopoulos with 11. Papadopoulos has not taken a ton of shots, but he has been very efficient today. You know who's not been efficient? This man right here, Paul George. He will start the second half with a nice move. Maybe PG chooses to pick it up here in half number 2. 39-50. Look at this beautiful drive and finish by Kevin Porter Jr. The Cavs have been slamming everything today. The Pistons' interior defense has not looked great. There's a nice free throw. Odavius Shepard, he now has 10, 7, and 5, doing a little bit of everything in this game. Paul George with it off the screen from Zario. It's another air ball. Way off. P definitely missed that one. We're getting the full experience of playoff Paul George. Kevin Porter Jr. was blocked there by Zario, but Shepard is able to get it back, getting the layup inside, and the Cavs are up by 18 all of a sudden. Here comes George. He is denied at the rim. Big Fafa sent that one to next week. My goodness, what a denial by Yusuf Diafafafobo, who is not scoring the ball a ton, but he continues to do the dirty work. 39-57. Here comes George inside, having trouble with it. He gets it to OG Anunoby for 3, the British native. Kevin Porter Jr. no good from deep. Shepard with the rebound. That one is denied. It looked like he lost control, and then Papadopoulos swatted it into the ground. Pistons on the fast break. Fadeaway 3 for Paul George. It's good. You'd think that Papadopoulos or Hayes would be the focal point of Detroit's offense, but no, it's been Paul George for whatever reason. Killian Hayes does make the 3. Hayes has had a nice day, but I don't know why Paul George is the feature option for this team. Nice putback by Zario Papadopoulos. Pistons clawing back. They cut the lead down to 9. 52-61. Odavius Shepard. Pump fake in the corner. Cedric Garrett for 3. It's good. Shepard now with a double-double. 12 points, 10 assists. He also has 8 rebounds, so a triple-double is very realistic for Odavius Shepherd. Cedric Garrett, by the way, has 22 points, as here is the Pistons on the fast break. Evan Fournier, assisted by Killian Hayes, makes the 3. Pistons bring the lead down to 7. There's Cedric Garrett at the buzzer. It's good. 12 points in the third quarter for Cedric Garrett. He is 25, 6, and 5 at the moment. And the Cleveland Cavaliers take a 10-point lead, 75-65, with 1 quarter of action left to go. Shepherd off the catch and shoot, no good, but Big Fafa with another rebound, his 9th, and he gets the putback. 65-77. I think Detroit might start to hit the panic button a little bit as Fournier gets the and 1. Kawhi is drawing the foul. Kawhi is very confused by the call. So what is he going to do? He's going to take his aggression out on the next offensive possession, getting an and 1 of his own. Anunoby called for the foul. A big layup for Kawhi, and it's now 69. Nice. To 84. Killian Hayes driving by Shepherd with ease. Odavius Shepherd still sucks on-ball defense, but other than that, he has been flawless today. 1 rebound away from a triple-double as he goes inside, slamming on Zario Papadopoulos. I think regardless of the outcome of this game, I think Shepherd has really made a statement as he steals that one away from Killian Hayes. He has been the alpha for Cleveland today, whereas, oh my God, Kawhi almost took his head off. But anyway, Shepherd's been the alpha male for the Cavs today. I can't really say that about Zario Papadopoulos for Detroit. And I think Shepherd's definitely been the better player as he drills a step-back 3. Shepherd, by the way, now is a triple-double, the first of his playoff career. Cleveland trying to end this game off strong as Kawhi gets the layup. 77-93 now. Kawhi off the pass with the slam! That might be the dagger. 101-79, a statement. Game 1 victory here in round 2 of the Eastern Conference playoffs. An emphatic victory for the Cleveland Cavaliers. A triple-double for Shepherd. Cedric Garrett, by the way, he might have just played the best game of his career. Garrett was phenomenal. He was efficient. He did everything, and he was really impressive. Our defense was also great, only allowing Detroit to 79 points. And this was, to be quite fair, a blowout victory. Looking at the box score, 31, which is tying a career high for Cedric Garrett. 9 boards and 6 assists on very efficient shooting. 21 points, 11 rebounds, and a season high 13 assists for Odavius Shepherd in his first career postseason triple-double. Kawhi Leonard with 17 points as well. Big Fafa with 15 rebounds. Other than those guys, nobody else really stood out. But Garrett, Shepherd, and Kawhi were all phenomenal in this game. And they're the reason why we ended up winning by 20. And the other guys, well, they weren't bad, but no one else really stood out specifically off the bench. For the Pistons, their leading scorer was Paul George. He ended up scoring 21 points on 30 shots. Paul George went 7 of 30 from the field. He missed 23 shots today, along with only going 3 for 12 from 3. Yet Zario Papadopoulos, who averaged 30 and 11 this year, who's the best player on this team, took 8 shots. I don't really get that. Why is Paul George taking 30 shots when he's going to miss so many, and Papadopoulos only takes 8? Zario didn't even play badly. He went 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from deep. He had 13 and 10. But Odavius Shepherd was by far better than Zario Papadopoulos, and I think those two consistently are being compared, but Shepherd wants to prove that he's better. So we're going to make a minor lineup change going into Game 2. I'm going to move Jason Higgins-Wycraft into the starting lineup. I think Kevin Porter Jr. has been a little bit unimpressive. I think he's just better off the bench. I think KPJ is going to get the same amount of minutes, which is what I want. I don't really want the minutes to be changed, but I think having Higgins-Wycraft in the starting lineup and having Kevin Porter Jr. off the bench probably would be beneficial. So that will bring us to Game 2, a very important one here for Detroit. They know they cannot go down 2-0. Same lineup for the Pistons: Killian Hayes, PG, Anunoby, Zario, and Pirtle. For Cleveland, it will be Odavius Shepherd. Jason Higgins-Wycraft at the 2, making his first career postseason start, along with Kawhi, Garrett, and Big Fafa. Kevin Porter Jr. will be the main facilitator off the bench. A nice opportunity for him to play point guard, which he doesn't really get to do a whole lot. Zario Papadopoulos, quick 3, heavily contested, but it still falls. Zario Papadopoulos needs to make a statement today. Coming off a disappointing Game 1, we need to see him look like a superstar. Killian Hayes with the steal, OG Anunoby with the flush, and the Pistons with a quick 9-2 run here to start Game 2. Shepherd gets that one to float in. He nearly just annihilated Paul George. He didn't, but he almost did. 11-6 now. The Pistons still have a nice lead. Defensively, Detroit's been outstanding today, as that one kind of looked like it went in, but it was actually blocked by Shepherd. And then Cedric Garrett on the other end will make the layup. But Cleveland's offense has been very unimpressive. Only 8 points here in the first 4 minutes of the game. Here's Paul George getting the screen from Zario over to OG Anunoby for 3. Nice bucket for Anunoby. It's now 14-10. Cleveland trying to run the floor. Garrett gets it to Killer King Reddish for 3. Reddish had that big 34-piece in Game 3 against the Celtics, but has been quiet since. He didn't have a great Game 4 against Boston, and in Game 1 here against Detroit, he was very quiet. There's a nice 3 for the veteran Eric Bledsoe, trying to win a championship ring before his career retires. Kevin Porter Jr. coming off the bench as a spark plug. He gets the 3. Only a 1-point game now as Bledsoe tries to beat the buzzer. He is no good, but look at that play by Christian Aregbu, the rookie out of Maryland, with an incredible putback layup. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 25-22 is your score. Slow start for the Cavs, but they did pick it up offensively as we advance to the second quarter. Now only a 1-point game. Detroit trying to make it back to a 2-score lead, and they do exactly that. Pandemic P. Paul George makes the 3. George has not missed as many shots today, but it's pretty hard to miss 23 shots in an NBA game, specifically a playoff game, but it's Paul George, so what do you know? Shepherd gets the slam, 28-26, as there's PG, 4-3, it's good. Paul George heard me slandering him. I don't think Paul George is a bad basketball player, but notoriously he does not do well in the playoffs, but he is doing quite well today as he drives inside for the slam. 33-29 now. PG, heavily covered, gets the screen from Zario. Paul George, nice step back mid-ranger, and it falls. A very impressive second quarter of work for PG today, as it's now 35-29. Shepherd, nice move, nice finish. He drills the 3, 9 points here in the first half for Shepherd. Doesn't look like he'll get a triple-double, though. Only 1 rebound and 1 assist so far. Eric Bledsoe gets it to Paul George off the screen. PG cannot miss right now. Way off P, more like playoff P. Paul George is finally living up to his self-given nickname as Killian Hayes makes the 3, and the Pistons offense is really looking good here in the second quarter. 45-38. Look at this move by Garrett inside for the slam. Cedric Garrett nearly had a double-double in Game 1. It looks like he might in Game 2 as he already has 10 and 6. There is Christian Wood for 3, and the Pistons are now up by 12. A very nice first half showing for Detroit. Cleveland trying to make a nice statement here in the final minute. A great pass by Garrett, and an even better finish by Mamadou. Cedric Garrett now with it, holding on, trying to wait for the buzzer. Garrett heavily contested by Hayes, and it falls. Over the back foul on Turner, but the bucket will still count. Cedric Garrett should be the permanent, designated last-second shooter, because at the buzzer, Cedric Garrett rarely misses. The full court shot is no good from Killian Hayes, and that'll do it for the first half. Not a great start for Cleveland. They're down by 7, 54-47. Paul George with 17 points. He's been very impressive, and he's actually been efficient today. 13, 8, and 3 for Cedric Garrett. Cedric Garrett's been so impressive here so far in this series against the Pistons. He's been really good. Jason Higgins-Wycraft tips the pass. Shepherd eventually picks it up, and he will take the layup. The best defense is good offense. Although Jason Higgins-Wycraft is not the scorer that Kevin Porter Jr. is, I think his all-around game is a little bit better, and that's why he's getting this opportunity in the starting lineup. Shepherd makes the 3. He's now at 18 points. Cleveland only down by 4. Going to try to make it a one-score game, and they do just that. Cedric Garrett drills the tough, deep 3. 62-59 now. Killian Hayes with the basketball, trying to drive inside. Tough layup, and it does fall, despite nice defense by the Claw. 64-59 now. Here comes Reddish, flying in for the dunk. Cleveland keeping this game within 5 points as they try to make it competitive. Kevin Porter Jr. with the drive and the finish. KPJ has had a nice game off the bench, and I think he has been a little bit better than Jason Higgins-Wycraft, so maybe being the starting shooting guard in our lineup just is a curse. Nice dunk for the Pistons at 68-67. Cavs trying to take the lead on this possession. Reddish, the layup is good, and for the first time today, the Cavaliers are up. They now have 69 points. Nice. Will they hold on to 69 for much longer? Probably not, as Big Fafa gets the putback from the Porter miss. Reddish misses, but Diafafafoglu is there again for the putback. Quiet game for Diafafafoglu. He only has 5 and 3, but it's good to see him making an impact there. Nice slam for Kevin Porter Jr., and it seems like the Cavs are starting to build up a lead. Currently up by 3, going to try to make it 6, and they don't. Kevin Porter Jr. misses the 3, but another putback for Diafafafoglu, and they now lead by 5. 72-75, here is Porter at the buzzer. Heaves it up off the back iron, no good. That'll do it for the third quarter. A great frame of action for the Cavs. They outscored the Pistons by 10 and currently lead 72-75 with 1 quarter of action left to go. Now it's 74-77 as Garrett comes flying in for the dunk. 18 and 11 today for Garrett. He's been the best player on the floor probably for either team. Here comes Killian Hayes. Oh my goodness. An incredible and one slam. Miles Turner is dumbfounded by the call. That is a major momentum giver for Detroit, and this is a major momentum robber. Shepherd on the following possession demolishes Hayes for an and one dunk, and the Cavs are back up by 5. 77-82. Killian Hayes, beautiful step back 3, and again it's back down to 2. It looks like this finish is going to be a lot closer than game 1. Paul George off the screen for the lead, and it's good with just under 5 minutes to go. Big bucket for George, big start to the quarter for Detroit, but Shepherd answers right back with a slam of his own. 87 apiece with about 4 minutes to go. Here comes Garrett, and 1. Pirtle with the foul, a gigantic layup for Cedric Garrett to put the Cavs back up. 89-90 now. Garrett again with the ball. Passes it out for Odavius Shepherd, who drills the 3. Cleveland up by 2 with 2 minutes to go. Can the Pistons tie it up here? George at the rim. It's good. And we are now knotted up at 93. Cleveland with the ball now, trying to get the lead back. Odavius Shepherd for 3. He knew that was in before it fell. A gigantic bucket for Shepherd, and the Cavs are back up. Ensuing Detroit possession. Here's Zario Papadopoulos. Fadeaway. Gets it to go down. You can't guard him on those fadeaways. I mean, Cedric Garrett played perfect defense, and it still fell. 95-98 now, with about a minute to go. Wash, rinse, repeat. You cannot guard those fadeaways. Cedric Garrett, perfect 2 possessions defensively, and it's still so easy for Zario. Shepherd inside with a big layup. He now has 30 points, and the Cavs are back up by 3 with about a minute to go, as this is still back and forth. Are we going to have another fadeaway from Zario? Yes, we do. Now, Garrett did mistime the jump, so not as great of defense there, but Papadopoulos is showing the star he is right now. Shepherd misses the layup. Kawhi with a gigantic rebound. And then it's for rookie Jason Higgins-Wycraft with the biggest shot of the game. A huge 3 to put the Cavs up by 4. That is a gigantic bucket. Pistons have to score here, and they do, as Zario makes the layup. 100-103, it's now time to start playing the foul game. As Shepherd is fouled by Paul George, he'll go to the line to shoot 2. First one will fall for Odavius. Here is the second one, and it will go down. The Pistons are out of timeouts, which is really significant. They definitely need to score here. Pump fake by Zario to Anunoby. I don't know why he stepped inside the arc, and he still misses the shot anyway. So questionable decision there by OG. Shepherd goes to the line with 8.7 seconds to go as the first free throw is no good. All right, they may have made things interesting just now. Shepherd does get the second one, so it's a 5-point game. The Cavs just cannot foul. Zario Papadopoulos makes the 3, so that'll bring the lead down to 2 as Shepherd is quickly fouled by George. 2.2 seconds were left. Remember, the Pistons are out of timeouts. Shepherd has to make both of these free throws to pretty much ice the game, as he does make the first one, and the second one is good. So that's pretty much the game. As long as the Cavs don't foul, they'll be fine. As it's inbounded for Killian Hayes from full court. No good, not that it would matter. The Cleveland Cavaliers squeak away in Game 2. 108-104 is your final. This is one that the Pistons should have won. They had the lead for a majority of this game, but we stormed back in the third quarter, back and forth, fourth quarter, but we were able to hold on and get the win. We still have not lost in the postseason and take a 2-0 series lead. 35 points from Odavius Shepherd, 23 and 13 for Cedric Garrett. Kevin Porter Jr. did outplay Jason Higgins-Wycraft. Yes, Higgins-Wycraft had the biggest shot at the game, but it seems like whoever comes off the bench out of those two seems to do better. I don't really know why that is. Paul George with 32, 8, and 6. He only missed 14 shots, and he was really good. I've got to give him his flowers. He was very impressive. 29 and 5 for Hayes. He was great as well. 18 and 8 for Papadopoulos. It seemed like Zario Papadopoulos didn't really try until the fourth quarter, and when they kept feeding him the ball, he kept making shots. So I don't know why they don't keep feeding him, because whenever he has the ball, it seems like they score. So that'll end today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time will be games 3 and 4. Will we sweep the Pistons and send them to Cancun in the next episode? Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.